What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we know that Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn had some very choice words to describe undefeated three-division world champion who simultaneously held the WBA super title at super featherweight, WBA regular title at lightweight, WBA regular title at junior welterweight, superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, who is now 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 26 big wins by way of knockout. He is 28 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. We know Gervonta Tank Davis is a massive superstar within the sport of boxing. Gervonta Tank Davis, he sold out and broke records in his last two fights. His fight May 28th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, when he faced off against lightweight title contender star boxer Rolando Rolly Romero, who came into that fight 14 wins, no loss, no draw, 12 wins by way of knockout, 26 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach, never having a title fight, so clearly never won a world title, right? You got to be in it to win it. So Rolly Romero, that was his first headline main event big fight, right? Super card. And it did a record-breaking gate at the Barclays Center, $5 million gate for a boxing event. There's been plenty of fighters that fought there. Errol Spence fought there. Deontay Wilder fought there. Sean Porter has fought there. Danny Garcia has fought there. Keith Thurman has fought there. And Gervonta Tank Davis broke the gate for that fight, for that venue, right? We had Zab Super Judah and Paulie Malignaggi fight there. So we had big names fight there. And it didn't do what Gervonta Tank Davis did. Then in his most recent fight, he fought against WBA undefeated super featherweight world champion, Dominican star boxer Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia came into the fight 16 wins, no loss, and no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, 5'9" with a 67-inch arm reach. Hector Garcia, he had two shocking upset victories his last two fights over Christopher Colbert, who never fought for a world title, never won a world title. But he was on the verge of superstardom, Chris Colbert, and he was the favorite in the fight. And Hector Garcia dropped him and beat him in the upset victory. Then he fought and beat Gutierrez for the WBA title. So he was very confident. He's Olympian, a southpaw, but he never had a mega fight. Okay, he didn't have a ground-breaking pay-per-view fight. So essentially, Gervonta Tank Davis is carrying the weight. So Gervonta Tank Davis, he fought in Washington, D.C. Now, keep in mind, Gervonta Tank Davis is from the DMV area, but he's from Baltimore. They fought at Washington, D.C. at the Capital One Arena where a Washington Wizards play. And again, he did a $5.2 million gate, the second highest gate in their history and the biggest gate for boxing. So we know he's a pay-per-view massive attraction. He sells out everywhere he goes. He sold out the Staples Center in Los Angeles. He sold out the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. He sells out wherever he goes, right? And so you factor in, Gervonta Tank Davis is now parted ways with retired, legendary, iconic Hall of Fame superstar boxer turned founder and promoter, Mayweather Promotions, that being none other than Floyd Mayweather himself. Yes, Floyd Mayweather co-signed Gervonta Tank Davis. Yes, he has, introduced Gervonta Tank Davis to the world on the biggest stage. He had Gervonta Tank Davis as the co-main event for the second biggest fight in the history of the sport of boxing when he fought Conor McGregor. But Gervonta Tank Davis was smart enough to also carry his own weight and understand that he had to capitalize. And he did so, right? He seized the moment. And now he did his first event and it was groundbreaking, right? But Eddie Hearn, he stated that Gervonta Tank Davis essentially is not smart. He can't articulate. He can't, comprehend. He can't, hold a conversation, essentially, is what he's saying, because he's saying that, he don't even understand what's going on around him. And so he stated that, it's hard to get in Gervonta Tank Davis' head because essentially he's not attached to the real world. Right. So he don't even know what's going on. So he said that makes him very dangerous. And then he compared him to legendary, retired, iconic Hall of Fame superstar, Olympian, two-time undisputed heavyweight world champion, superstar in Iron Mike Tyson. And said, well, he's similar to Iron Mike Tyson. Now, we know how people view and the perception of Iron Mike Tyson is that he wasn't smart. He got robbed over his career. People took advantage of Iron Mike Tyson. Because people looked at Iron Mike Tyson as not being able to articulate, that he wasn't smart, right? He wasn't savvy. And so a lot of people got over on Mike Tyson throughout his career. They took advantage. But there's nothing good about that. And so this is what Eddie Hearn had to say. So Mike Tyson, in response, was asked about this. And Mike Tyson essentially said, never mind what Eddie Hearn thinks. You know what I mean? He stated that, Iron Mike Tyson don't like people like this. So I could paraphrase and tell you that Iron Mike Tyson, he said, listen, tell Eddie Hearn to go himself, right? And so he says that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to keep fighting, and he's great, and he's on the verge of being an all-time great. And I believe that Gervonta Tank Davis can solidify himself as an all-time great. There's big fights out there. You don't have to win every fight to be an all-time great. Mike Tyson didn't win every fight. Lennox Lewis is an all-time great. He didn't win every fight. Okay, Evander Holyfield's an all-time great. He didn't win every fight. Muhammad Ali is an all-time great. He didn't win every fight. There's only a handful of fighters. You got Floyd Mayweather, as I already mentioned. You have retired legendary Olympic gold medalist, 2-division world champion, and Hall of Fame superstar Andre S.O.G. Ward. He retired undefeated. You have, obviously, the late, great, legendary, iconic Rocky Marciano. He retired undefeated. And then you have Joe Kawasaki. He retired undefeated. Another Hall of Famer, right? But these are legends within the sport of boxing. But there's a handful of fighters. A handful. There's only a handful of fighters in the sport of boxing that have retired undefeated. There's only a handful. Okay, there's not this, mass majority of fighters that retired undefeated. So there's going to be some fights. There's some fights that I favor other fighters over Gervonta Tank Davis, but they 50-50 fights. That being undefeated, undisputed, lightweight world champion, superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney. I think that's a 50-50 fight. I think Olympic silver medalist, 2-division world champion, former unified super featherweight world champion, superstar boxer Shakur Stevenson is a 50-50 fight. Now, I favor Shakur Stevenson. I favor Devin Haney. But those are still 50-50 fights. Gervonta Tank Davis, that's no walk in the park. There's no guarantee that they're going to beat Gervonta Tank Davis. I just favor Gervonta Tank Davis to be victorious in that fight. Right? And then you have, guys like Josh Taylor. That's a possibility. Regis Prograis, who was a 2-time junior middleweight world champion. So there's big fights for Gervonta Tank Davis. He may not be victorious in all of them, but you best believe he's going to be competitive in all of them. Now, he's on the verge of having a fight with undefeated lightweight junior welterweight Mexican superstar title contender, which I pray and hope that it comes to fruition, in undefeated superstar in Ryan Garcia, who is 24 wins, no loss, 23 wins, no loss, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He's 24 years of age, 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. Now, Ryan Garcia, he has not won a world title. He's not fought for a world title. But Ryan Garcia is a draw. He's a casual boxing fan's attraction. He hasn't accomplished tons of things in the sport of boxing, but he's a draw, right? And so with that said, Mike Tyson, he said, listen, who cares, essentially, I'm paraphrasing, what anybody says and thinks about Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, I want to see him in bigger fights, with bigger name fights. Like Andre Ward said, it's time for Gervonta Tank Davis to step up with the level of opposition instead of fights that are deemed him, he's the favorite. But like I said, there aren't many 50-50 fights for Gervonta Tank Davis because of his skill set, because of his talent. Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson are two. You have Regis Prograis. I believe that's a 50-50 fight. I still favor Tank Davis. Josh Taylor, because of his size, he's a southpaw. He's big. He's 5'10", a 70-inch arm reach. He's essentially a welterweight that's squeezing down 40, and he's the undisputed champion. Well, the former undisputed champion, junior welterweight. So that's a 50-50 fight. And then you have guys like Gary Anton Russell, right? That might be a 50-50 fight. Maybe Mr. Gary Russell Jr., that may be a 50-50. But there's not a lot of 50-50 fights that Gervonta, you could just say, hey, fight him, that's a 50. There might be 5. Josh Taylor, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Regis Prograis. maybe Gary Russell Jr., depending upon how he come back from the shoulder injury. I don't think him and Lomachenko is a 50-50 fight. I think Tank Davis should be the favorite, and I think he will win. So there's a handful of 50-50 fights, unless he just dare to be great and go up to welterweight. No, now they're not 50-50 fights. I favor those welterweights because of the size. You understand what I'm saying? And so Mike Tyson, he responds back into Eddie Hearn. This one, you know what I'm saying? It's disrespectful of Eddie Hearn. Then he doubled down and put out photos and pictures of him with Gervonta Tank Davis to double down on the trolling of him. It's disrespectful. So, but let's see how everything unfolds and plays out. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like your shitty videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.